was found on a Detroit-bound plane from Chicago on Monday. The plane was on the runway when officials stopped the plane and passengers were evacuated and rescreened. Airline officials have not released further information regarding what was found. Security measures were tightened after the attempted Christmas Day attack. And General Motors and Chrysler are running into problems with shutting down their dealerships. According to the American Arbitration Association, 1,550 of nearly 2,800 dealers have filed the necessary paperwork to appeal to the closures. The group believes that the number may increase as more appeals arrive. Chrysler has stated it is considering a national lawsuit to stop the appeals, as they could cost the company hundreds of millions of dollars. Chrysler already shut down 789 dealerships in June with hopes of making the remaining ones more profitable.
And U.S. Representative Bart Stupak announced today that he will not be a candidate for the gubernatorial nomination and instead will run for re-election in the 1st Congressional District representing northern Michigan and the Upper Peninsula. According to Stupak, he will not be receiving a gubernatorial nomination due to short time frame, fundraising requirements, and his seniority in Congress. The Democratic field remains unsettled, as State Representative Alma Wheeler-Smith remains the only fully committed candidate. House Speaker Andy Dillon and Lansing Mayor Virg Bernero have begun fundraising, but have not yet said if they will run. University of Michigan Regent Denise Illich may also seek nomination. Detroit Edison will be commercially operating a wind farm in northern Michigan, which should supply enough electricity to power about 2,000 households. 2 years ago, a state energy reform law was enacted requiring that by the end of 2015, 10% of Michigan's power must come from renewable sources. Detroit Edison will be teaming up with Heritage Sustainable Energy Company to produce these 7 large-scale wind turbines. The energy industry has potential to create many economic development opportunities.
That's all for your state news, and now we actually have an announcement from Michigan Idol. I believe they're having auditions on...
Auditions are tomorrow night in the Michigan League Underground. That's from 9 to 11 p.m. So if you think you have what it takes to be the next Michigan Idol,
go out and join them. See, you could win $400 first place, so I say it's worth a shot.
Absolutely. It's a 2-week-long competition.
And now we have Hadas Brown to give you the latest of Hollywood. What can you tell us?
Thanks, guys. Throughout the week, many were shocked to hear reports that Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, the pair affectionately known as Brangelina, had met with a divorce lawyer and were devising plans to split. After several days of speculation, the rumors were reported as false. The couple told People magazine everything is fine, so we'll be watching Brangelina in the upcoming months to see if troubles truly have befallen the once golden couple. And Britain's Got Talent star Susan Boyle returned home on Tuesday night to find an intruder inside her house. The perpetrator ran and was not seen. Police questioned one 16-year-old boy but found him innocent. They have yet to identify another suspect and are seeking witnesses. And finally, on Monday, Different Strokes star Gary Coleman was released from jail after spending a mere 27 hours there. Coleman was arrested when police entered his home to investigate a civil disturbance and found that he had an outstanding warrant for domestic violence. It is currently a mystery exactly who bailed Coleman out of jail, but Coleman, who referred to his short duration in prison as absolutely miserable, is undoubtedly thankful. That's all for your entertainment news. Now back to Mia and Emily.
Thanks, Hadas. That was a scary picture of Gary Coleman.
Yeah, he looks very menacing. I don't think jail really suited him. So
right, but for your entertainment right here on campus, Wolves' Lauren Blanchard went out to find out all about Welcome Wednesdays.
Dozen bagels may seem like a lot, but for the Alumni Association, it's just a part of their weekly student program, Welcome Wednesdays. From 8 a.m. to noon, students are invited to stop by, get a free bagel and coffee, and hang out on the couches. The Student Services Coordinator, Matt Darby, talked to Wolf about why the Alumni Association is reaching out to students.
We figured Welcome Wednesdays was a great way to bring everybody in and give everybody exposure to the Alumni Association, even if it's just to get some free food and hang out for a little while.
Usually I just hang out, but I have learned about a few of the programs they offer for internships.
I think the biggest thing that students need to know about the Alumni Association is that we have things to offer the student population now, even before everybody graduates. We have, obviously, you know, Welcome Wednesdays is kind of an easy thing to just stop in and get a bagel, but we also have programs that connect students with alumni for business purposes, kind of professional contact reasons, networking purposes. Additionally, we put on, coming up this spring, we have a series of seminars that help students prepare for life beyond college. It's called Real Life 101, and it's, as the name suggests, to get you prepared for life once you leave Michigan.
With on average 2,000 students through their building on any one of these Wednesdays, it's amazing that the association can pull off such an event that can handle so many hungry students. Prepared with hundreds of bagels, a table stocked with pots of coffee and hot cocoa mix, everyone is sure to get something to eat.
Any leftover bagels we have, this is always a concern, and we get asked about it a lot. The leftover bagels we have, either we find ways to give them to students, or we take the leftover ones to food gatherers here in Ann Arbor, and then they utilize them for families in need. So we always try to find something good to do with them. We don't just throw them out for the squirrels to eat.
And with so much free food, why wouldn't you stop by?
If I can get here, I try to rearrange where I'm walking or where I go just to come here, because it's I mean, good food and it's good atmosphere too.
At Welcome Wednesdays, it's all about hot coffee, hot cocoa, and free bagels. So if you're ever in the neighborhood from 8 a.m. to 12 noon on a Wednesday, stop in at the Alumni Association, because they know that students love bagels, and the Alumni Association loves students. So this has been Lauren Blanchard for Wolf TV, telling you to go get a free bagel and take a bite out of life.
Thanks, Lauren. That bagel looks pretty good. I guess I'll go check out Welcome Wednesdays
Delicious.
at the Alumni Center.
They also have vanilla cinnamon bagels. Amazing.
You heard it here. You heard it here. All right, and now we have, who do we have? Lauracindy Plague in the studio to give us your weird news of the week.
Thanks, guys. With Groundhog's Day approaching, PETA is not worried about having 6 more weeks of winter, but rather the mistreatment of Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog that takes part in the festivities about 60 miles outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals believes that subjecting the groundhog to large crowds and bright lights is unfair and suggests using a robotic version of the groundhog instead. However, William Dealey, president of the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club, assures that Phil is being treated well. A woman at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York took a very expensive tumble. While viewing Picasso's The Actor, she tripped and fell into the painting, leaving a 6-inch hole in the lower right-hand corner of the canvas. This painting, which dates back to Picasso's Rose period, was painted in 1905 and was valued at $130 million. However, this incident may have cut its value in half. The painting is expected to be repaired for a Picasso exhibit by April 27th. And finally, yesterday, a man from Tampa was charged with driving under the influence while riding his bicycle after a sheriff stopped him. According to the report, Tommy Miller was pulled over for riding his bicycle without lights and smelled like alcohol. He also had 2 empty beer cans in his basket and refused to submit to a DUI test. He was arrested for having an open container in public and was held on $7,000 bail. That's all for weird news I have for you. Back to you guys at the desk.
Wow, that is a steep fine for driving your bike while intoxicated.
Very steep.
Don't do it, I guess. And if you see anything unusual like that or out of the ordinary, we would love to hear from you here at Newsfeed. So send us your pictures at wolvnews.com. And if you have any stories that you want to hear on air, you can contact us at wolv.news@umich.edu.
Well, that is all for tonight's edition of Newsfeed. I'm Mollicone.
And I'm Emily Zimmerman. Remember, wherever you go, go blue.